Hello, and welcome to this episode of Joe Herzog Creations, where I show you how anyone can build a recipe box and cookbook holder all in one. And my idea behind this was, as far as to conserve counter space, it's always at a premium with all the different appliances that we have: coffee makers, blenders, toasters. Anyway, follow along in this video, and I'll show you how to make this with very minimal tools and very little skill. That's me, very little skill. And if you like this video, please subscribe and follow along as I continue to make things around my house and hopefully inspire you to do so also. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode. I'm going to be making a cookbook stand, and I'm also going to incorporate a recipe card holder for a drawer that holds 2 rows of 3x5 recipe cards. So you can keep all your recipe cards protected right next to your cookbook, and plus it's also going to save countertop space. You have 2 pieces in one. And one of the things you're going to need for this is you go to your Home Depot, Lowe's, any of your hobby stores, or Ace Hardware, and get a hobby board piece of plywood that's approximately 2 feet by 4 feet. One of those, maybe 2, depending on if you want to count for any mistakes, because I had to go back and get a second one. And the tools you're going to need for this is a circular saw to rip down those pieces. You're going to need the jigsaw to cut the angles for the cookbook stand. Clamps, because you're going to need clamps for when you're gluing it up and when you're nailing it together. Hammer. Obviously, safety gear. You got your filter mask, hearing protection, eye protection. These are your 1.25" finish nails and tape measure. And then once all that's done and you follow along, then paint of your choice. I choose Zinsser shellac-based primer. It's kind of like a paint and sealer all in one. Nothing fancy. I mean, if you wanted to go with a stain or you wanted to make this out of hardwood, you could. But I've already pre-cut the pieces, and I'll explain what the pieces are as I go. Here we go. Okay, did a little clean up here, so I have a work area. And okay, so to start off with, I'm going to build the stand for the cookbook. Okay, so the cookbook stand, which is going to be on top, sitting at an angle, it's going to be 12.5 by 12.25, and then these ones are 1.5" by 12.25 by 12.25, 1.5" by 12.25. So that would be this side. Okay. So now we're going to set that off to the side. Okay, now, next pieces, these are the sides, and as you can see, they're cut at an angle. overall from top to bottom, it is 16 3/8. So 16 3/8 from top to bottom. And then the curve I measured, I used one of the pieces of wood, and I measured up 6 inches, and then I measured an inch over from there and marked my line with my pencil. And then I took another piece of wood with a straight edge and just joined it like that, drew my line to give me the angle, and then I cut it out with my jigsaw. Okay, so this is going to be the base, and then the bottom is 8 by 12 and a quarter. Okay, so that would be 8 by 12 and a quarter. That's holding that. Okay, so as you can see, this is our cookbook stand, and then the sides and the bottom, and it's all glued together. And then for added strength, put in finish nails, 1.25 inch, because I'm using 3/4 inch material. You can use 1/2 inch material. I wouldn't go any thinner than that. And I'm using hobby boards that I got from Home Depot. Alright, so now we are going to build the drawer bottom, and then I'll be right back once I get done with that. Okay, so here's our drawer. We have the bottom, which is 7.5 by 12. We have the back, which is 3.5 by 12. And then we have the drawer front, which is 5 inches by 12. The two sides and the divider are all the same size. Those are 7.5 by 3.5. And the space in between should be right around 5 inches. So it'll just fit your 3x5 card perfectly. And then once you get that done, glued and nailed just as before, and slides right in. Next up, I'm going to put a little handle on the front, and also from here, the next step would be to sand everything, and sand everything, and sand everything again. And you're going to want to take a orbital sander, and you're going to want to ease all the edges, take all the sharp edges out. Plus, it gives it a little bit of a nice, like, old-fashioned rustic look. And then once you get all the sanding done, and you edge it with the orbital sander, then you go ahead and paint it. So now I'm gonna cut the camera. I'm gonna do all those, and I'll be back with the finished product. Okay, so I just painted mine white. Like I stated before, you can stain it. You can paint whatever color you want: purple, pink, blue, polka dots. Um, I think also I might get some, just to make it not so plain. I might get some stickers, maybe some apple pies or apples or um, some other stickers or emblems to go with cooking. Maybe you could suggest maybe you could get something that goes along with the decor of your kitchen, and I'll put it on the sides and just on the sides, just to give it a little color. And there's no slides or anything, and it just slides right in. And the paint is still a little bit drying, but there you go. There you have it. And that's this week's episode. Uh, Follow me next week for next week's episode. And if you like this, please subscribe. And you can also follow me on Instagram. Catch you later.